So once again, welcome you all. So this is the part what will be continuing today. So these are the two import statements, necessary import statements required for executing programs. So the name of the class what we have declared is basic mathematics, and the name of the source file is also the same. So this statement will print the result as it is. The whatever is given the double quote, that is integer arithmetic. So these are the five statements which will demonstrate how arithmetical operators will work. So the very first thing here is for A, usually expressions will work like this. First RHS will be evaluated, then the result will be stored in the LHS. So once you consider this, so how it shows here is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So these are the arithmetic operators. So what I will do, we are doing some arithmetic operations here, and then we are trying to display those results of A, B, C, D, E. So for explanation purpose, I'll copy this part. What I'll take some rough for explanation purpose. How actually the flow goes, program flow goes before I give the demonstration. So such questions will be asked in the interviews. You will be asked to get the final value of the variable. So when you execute the first statement, a equal to 1 plus 1, the value of a will be 2 here. Then the next statement, see, I am explaining this one only. This part I have taken it here for the explanation purpose. From the program, I am explaining this part. So b is equal to a star 3. So we have to consider not the older value of a. The very new value of a is 2 here. So you are not supposed to take older value. So new value here is 2. So 2 into 3. So the value of b becomes 6. So now the value of p is 6 after this statement. Now when I try to execute this statement, so value of c will be b division 4. It is not a modulo, it's a division. So we know that division will always give the quotient value. So as we are performing integer arithmetic, the result of this one will be, we will get 1.5. But 0.5 will be eliminated. Why? Because it is a integer arithmetic. So quotient value what we get here is, so b division 4. So what is the value of b? 6. So this becomes like 6 division 4. So that is nothing but what? 1. So we'll get the value of c as 1. Am I right? The output side, which already I have kept ready, so that right, this is what output we are expecting. But still, I'll solve it. So only for the value of b is 6, j is 2, then the value of c is 1. So next, coming to d, how do we get value of d? C minus a. The current value of c here is 1. 1 minus 2, it will become as minus 1. Then coming to value of e. E is nothing but minus of d. So d is minus 1, minus of minus 1 is 1. So e will get a value of 1. So this is what is outcome of this integer arithmetic. From this program, so the outcome of all these, we got the values of a, b, c, d, e as 2, 6, 1, minus 1, and 1. Similarly, for this floating point numbers, double values, because with the double values, we can even store the fractional values. We no need to eliminate the integer part. So we can even be able to see the fractional values also. So when I consider this part, so output 5 paralleling, right? So these are the results of floating point arithmetic. So dA, I'm trying to calculate the value of dA. dAe will become 1 plus 1. So the value of dA will be 2.0. Why? Because we are performing fractional, that is floating point arithmetic. So we will consider fractional values also. Similarly, dB will be dA into 3. So 3 into 2 will be 6.0. Next, dC. Here integer it was 1, but here we can store 1.1. For the integer arithmetic, we will be not storing the fractional value, but for the double or floating point, we will be able to store the fractional value. So result here is 0.5. Next, coming to this statement. So DC minus 3. So current value of DC is 1.5. So 1.5 minus 2. It will be minus 0.5. So earlier it was minus 1. Now it is minus 0.5. Why? Because we will be able to handle the fractional value also. Next DE will be minus of DD. So DD is minus 0.5. Minus of minus 0.5 will be plus 0.5. So this is the entire outcome of this program. So basically, we'll be given with such programs and we'll be asked to write the output. So what actually, after so many operations, what will be the final value of some variable will be asked. I'll try to give the demonstration. Basic mathematics Java, which is of interpreter, basic mathematics, and this is what the expected output. So this is the output which we have got from the program, and this already what I have checked it for you. So as per the we have got the expected output from the program. Right? Next part was so these you may feel very simple because already you have studied, but some part it will be repeated for you. Next, coming to after integer arithmetic, next we have modulus operator. So here modulus operator are not covered. What usually modulus operator will return? Modulus operator will give the remainder of the arithmetic expressions, not the quotient. So division will give quotient, whereas modulus will give the remainder of the expression. So I will take one sample program for that purpose. Modulus.java. As you can see from this program, right? So this is a program in which we are trying to demonstrate the outcome of modulus operator. So value of x is being assigned as 42, then y as 42.25. So here we are trying to perform two modulus operations, x mod y, x mod 10 and y mod 10. So x mod 10 will be equal to, so we'll get the value as 2 because value of x is 42. 42 modulo 10. Modulo will always return the remainder value. So when you divide 42 by 10, remainder value is 2. Similarly, when you divide 42.25 by 10, the remainder value will be 2.25. So this is what is the result once we execute the program. That is simple modulus demonstration. Modulus dot Java modulus. Right? We have got the result as expected. So x mod 10, that is 42 mod 10 is 2, 42.25 mod 10 is 2.25. So basically the intention here is the modulus operator, that is this modulus operator will usually return the remainder value which already you know. Now coming to arithmetic compound assignment operator, we'll be getting question like explain the various operators in Java, or specifically they may ask explain the different arithmetic operators present in OOC. So when you talk about arithmetic operator, we'll start with basic arithmetic operators, then talk about modulus operator. An arithmetic compound assignment operator. So as you know, it is a shorthand operator. So A equal to what is compound assignment? When you have something like A equal to A plus 4, this can also be written as A plus equal to 4. So that is the compound assignment. You can make use of any operator with the assignment operator. Then it becomes compound assignment operator. So you can make use of plus, minus, star division with the assignment operator. Then they will become compound arithmetic operators or compound assignment operators. For this, I have taken one demonstration program. The whole this session will be like this only, because simple things are there. Operator equals. So I will take one program operator equals Java. So this is one program which demonstrates operator equals. So this is again such a question, logical question will be asked in the probably in the interview. Basically, objective type questions will be asked. Will be given such expressions and will be asked to write the output. for explanation purpose, I will take this part. This is how basically ABC values are changing. So please concentrate. I will take the rough part. I'll copy this part as it is. So this part I have taken here for explanation purpose. So earlier values of, I want to get some acknowledgement. So voice is not clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Why some are not? Someone has raised Anjali Sai Paula raised hands. How can I address that? That option is not available. When they have doubt, you can ask, right? That's why
Yes,
some
sir.
are telling voice is not clear. You are getting clear, right, Rahul and Naveen?
Yeah, sir.
So probably they will may not have proper net connection. What I feel. We
If they are using mobile data, then there will be problem.
mobile. I had suggested now preferably you should take what laptop. Can you please be loud? Means I'm just speaking by keeping the microphone in front of my mouth only now. And still that will be because of network issues. Because I have kept everything maximum here. Can you please be a little louder? Right? Only Anjali is facing problem or others are also there. Can you speak now, Anjali? What problem you are facing? Speak.
So your voice is like little low, sir. Not getting concepts, sir.
But I am able to hear your voice very clearly now. The same way I am speaking, right? Well, I don't know what is the problem,
Hi,
technical
sir.
reason.
Now it is
Now,
good, sir.
now it is good. That means I need to unmute everyone to check one to one. Is it so?
I don't know
Mm,
that, sir, because uh,
uh,
it is
now
listening, sir, but
voice is breaking in between. Okay, what about others? Someone remove the earphones. If I remove the earphones, will it be clear? If I remove the earphone, then voice is breaking. Yesterday it was fine, no? Yes, sir, voice is breaking. I don't think why voice is breaking because I am speaking properly. But it is not problem with all what I feel. Can you? I am trying to give the demonstrations also with the screen. What is this? Naveen Joe means no. Okay. So this chat can be seen by all, right? Rahul,
Yes, sir.
this chat, this portion, all of you can see, right?
In your screen or in the chat portion, sir?
In the chat portion, I am telling this chat part. Whoever is asking questions, no, that will be visible to others also,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Everyone can see this.
Yes, sir. Others also.
Others also can see that. Okay. Well, I'll take this part for the explanation purpose. I think I had taken it here. Rather of work. I'll minimize this. I'll try to speak bit louder again. So value of A is 1 here. Network is good here, but your voice is low. What I should do now, Naveen? Again, totally how many are facing this problem in the next 10 seconds, right in the chat section. That means if you are really facing voice problem, in the chat section you reply. I can hear the noise of vehicles there. So please select the place which is totally calm. I'm not getting any responses. That means very few are facing this difficulty. You concentrate on this part. Okay. I'll continue with a is 1, then the value of a is 1 here, so it will be little tricky here. How it will become, how it will be treated here is a is equal to a plus 5. So this is how this expression will be treated, because it is a compound assignment operator. A plus 5 equal to 5 will be, I don't know who it is. I have unmuted some, but they are making disturbance. I don't know who is that. Oh, that noise has stopped, right, Naveen?
Yeah, sir.
Probably
Yes,
it
sir.
was coming from Anjali Savla.
Anjali, yes, sir.
You keep your surrounding
Because she was
calm,
doing a
Anjali,
lot of
then you'll be
disturbance.
able to hear. I'll mute Anjali.
Sir,
Yes, you were speaking something, Anjali?
yes, sir, I'm on terrace only, sir. No, no one is with me, sir.
Okay, fine. Right, A, this will be treated like this. Then the value of A will be, the older value of A is what? 1. Here. The older value of A is 1. And for that one, I'm going to add something called 5. So the new value will be 6. Next, how this expression will be treated. So this will be nothing but b is equal to small b is equal to b star 4. So then what it will make? It will make new value of b as, the present value of b is 2. So 2 into 4, it will become 8. So b has become 8. Next, how this expression will be treated? C equal to C plus, here is a trick, C is equal to C plus A star B. So this is how this expression will be treated. C equal to C plus A star B. So again, continuing with this, so this, in this expression there are two operators, plus and star. So among these two, star has highest priority. So this part will be evaluated first. So A star B will be evaluated first. So that is nothing but it will be something like this. For understanding purpose, I will give the bracket. It will be something treated like this, A star B. So then what happens? First A star B will be evaluated. So A star B, value of A star B will be 8 into 6 is how much? 48. So C is, present value of C is 3. So this will be nothing but 3 plus 48 is equal to 51. So the ultimate value of C here is what? 51. So then how this expression will be evaluated here is C is equal to C modulo 6. C is equal to C modulo 6. Nothing but what the remainder value we get for C here is C is 51. So 51 modulo 6 will get the remainder as 3. So what are the results that I got for A, B, C, D? A is 6, B is 8, C is 51, and sorry, new value of C is what? C is 3. So the final results are 6, 8, and 3. So I'll give the demonstration. Final values are 6, 8, and 3. So C, Java equals, right, 6, 8, and 3. So as expected, we have got the result as 6, 8, and 3. So we'll be given with such questions, tricky questions to write the results, especially when we have such things. The operators which are having higher priority compared to other operators. So then we must be very careful while writing the answers. Even if you, those who are feeling difficulties, please continue listening. I think few students are facing voice break. So I think it is fine with others. right? Next, coming to increment and decrement. So these are the unary operators. So now what we have discussed is they were binary operators. Now it is a unary operator. Means they will operate on single operands. That is x equal to x plus 1. So that can be written as x plus plus. So x equal to x minus 1 can be written as x minus minus. So they are called as unary operators. Unary increment and unary decrement. Unary increment will increment the value of a operand by 1. Unary decrement will decrement the value of the operand by 1 on which they are operating. So there are both the versions, prefix version and postfix version. Like one example, when you have x equal to 42, when you perform y equal to plus plus x. So in this expression, what happens here is value of x will be incremented by 1 plus. Okay, first increment the value of x, then assign the result back to y. So for better explanation of this, I will take this one example program, that is increment and decrement. The things will be much clearer. Again, it is a tricky one. What I'll do here is I'll go for the increment and decrement of Java. Right? So some program is there. This program, I think all of you can see. I hope I had told you to keep pen and book with you. So can you write the solution for this? Simple increment and decrements, unary increment and unary, only increment is there in this one. So pre-increment and post-increment. So quickly take 1 minute time and try to write the ABCD, values of ABCD, and give reply in the chat section. Tell your answers in the chat section. Don't send one by one at a time. You write the answer in Word file somewhere, or if you are using machine, you can write type in the Word, then directly then send the answer. Or if you can solve this with the pen and paper, then write the values of ABCD. Just write the values right, whatever answer you get. No need to write A equal to 5, B equals 6 like that. Just write the answers here. I just wanted to know how much silence you are having surrounding you. I have unmuted all and I can see so much sound. No solution set. I think I have given you something to work and write the answer here in the chat session. Are you solving? Yes, Pooja has replied with something. 1, 2, 1. Okay, any other answers? Don't directly see this could be wrong. So write your own answers. Fast, you should not take so much time. One, two, 1, 2. What? Soumya Nakod. I'll unmute Soumya Nakod. I will unmute Dhananjaya. Right, see, the various others I'm getting. I'll just, no one has got correct answer. No one has got correct answer till now. Okay. Listen here, I'll explain this. Copy this. 1, 2, 3. Rahul has got answer, he says. Okay. Let us see. I'll explain this in the rough work part. So these are the values. Okay. A equal to 1, B equal to T, and C and the other variable. See here with this expression, please concentrate all of you. What I'm explaining here is how the answers will be. C equal to plus plus D. So this is an unary operator, obviously. Both are unary operators, this and this. But this is prefix notation, this is postfix. That means this is pre-increment and this is post-increment. There is a difference. In pre-increment, what happens? First, the value of the operand will be incremented by 1. Then that incremented value will be used in the expression. So what this causes here is, this will cause two things to take place. First, it will increment the value of B by 1. So new value of B will become what? Old value is 2 and new value of B will become 3. Next, it will make one more thing. What? C for this new incremented value will be assigned to 3. So what C will get? C will get a new value of 3. So B has been incremented to 3 and C will get the value as. So next, this expression again, it will make two things. It will also change two operands. It will change the value of A and it will also change the value of B. But it is post increment. So what happens in the post increment here is, first use the value of the operand, then increment it. Here what we are doing, first increment, then use the operand. So here first we use the operand, then we increment it. So when you first use the operand, then assign it to D, then later we are incrementing. So what happens here is, D will become the present value of A, that is 1. D will become 1. Not you may feel that D will become 2. No, D will become 1. Then the A will be incremented afterwards. So value of A will be, present value is 1 and the next value will be 2. So D becomes still 1, then A will become 2. This will cause what? C to be incremented as usual. So this makes C as, the current value of C here is 3 and it will make new value of C as 4. So what are the result that we have got? 2 for A, 2, 3, 4, 1 is the right answer. What I see. Let us check in the output. Is it correct? So 2, 3, 4, 1 is the right answer. Because of such questions, many have got different answers. The correct answer here is 2, 3, 4, 1. So 2, 3, 4, 1 Very recently, someone has replied, Prajwal has replied 2341. Right? I think very few have got 2341 as the answer. Because the trick here is this is pre-increment and this is post-increment. So you must be careful among these two. So I'll just show the demonstration. What is that? Increment and decrement program. Java C. Increment and decrement of Java. In case of interpreter, increment. So what the expected result? We have got 2341. So 2341, even after tracing, we have got 2341 as the result. So I'll go with the next part. Next part is we have bitwise operators. So as we know, they will operate on individual bits. So bitwise operators will operate on individual bits of an operand. So this truth table almost you must have studied. So when 0 and 0, the result will be 0 for the AND. When both the operands are 0, when you consider AND, 0 AND will be true only when both are true. Similarly, OR will be true when any one operand is true. So XOR, only one must be true. That is 0 or 0, the result is 0. 1 exclusive or 0, the result is 1. 0 exclusive or 1, the result is 1. Here 1 exclusive or 1, it is false. Why? Because only one operand must be true. So when it comes for the negation, it will simply reverse the value of the operand. If it is 0, it will become 1. 1 will become 0. So that is what is bitwise NOR. All these are given again in words in detail. That is when it comes, I'll take one simple example. Bitwise AND I will take for explanation purpose. So bitwise AND, this is decimally 42. Decimal number 42 can be written in binary way like this. Then decimal 15 is written in binary like this. So when you perform bitwise AND, so as the name itself says bitwise, they will operate on individual bits of the operand. So we have to start operating 0 and 1 is 0. Because AND, what the bitwise AND says, both the operand must be true for the result to be true. So 0 and 1, the result is 0. 1 and 1, the result is 1. When 0 and 1, the result is 0. So when both the operands are 1, then only the result is 1. So in the entire bitwise operation, we have got only two ones and remaining all are zeros. That is 1 and 1, here it is 0. 1 and 1, again here it is 1. Now 1 and 1, 1. 1 and 1, 1. So remaining all places it is 0. So bitwise AND of 42 and 15 will give a result of 10. So this is one sample explanation how the bitwise operators will work. Similarly, it is same for all other operators, bitwise operators. So coming to the left shift operation. So left shift operation. If you have any issues, you can ask during the chat session. Because that raising hand, I'm not able to get it here. If you have some doubts, you can ask in the chat session. So left shift, what this operator does here is, it will shift the bits of an operand to the left by specified number of times. It will shift to the left by specified number of times. So general syntax here is, whatever value you have, left shift it by these many positions. So whatever value you have, left shift it to the specified number of positions. And whatever bits are there at the right side, they will be indicated with the zeros. That is, 0 is brought at the right side. When you perform left shift, at the right side, zeros will be brought in. I'll take one example. So that is for the normal integer. So when you shift an byte value, it will be treated as an integer first. That is, if the result of is shifted to a byte value, if you want to shift a byte, the easiest way to simply cast the result back to the byte itself. So the meaning of all this will be clear when I take this example program. What actually is the shifting and how actually the results will be. That is, how actually this left shift works. The left shift operation works along with typecasting. So byte shift, I'll take a program, sample program for explanation. Byte shift.java. Right? Is this font is sufficient or should I increase it? You can see, right, all of you. This font size, I feel, whatever screen is sufficient for you, I feel. So this
Yes,
is
sir.
demonstrating how we will be shifting. So please concentrate this part. This is a very frequently asked question, even in interviews and in the exam. Explain the left shift operator with an example program. So A and B are the variables of type byte. I is a variable of type integer. So byte is smaller than integer. Integer will take 4 bytes of space. Byte will take 8 bits of space. That is 1 byte. Byte will take 1 byte. Integer will take 4 bytes. Now with this expression, what I am trying to do here is, I'll go to the rough. Right? So please concentrate this part. I will take only this part to explain. Control C. I have taken this part out from the program. What actually happens with this statement? What it means here is shift all the bits of A to the left by 2 positions. The meaning of this is shift all the bits of variable A to the left by 2 positions. When you write A left shift 5, the meaning is shift all the bits of A to the left by 5 positions. So I'll keep the original one. So this is nothing but how it looks here is I is equal to what is A? A is having 64. So its binary representation is 1. And I'll go to the part which already I have practiced for the session starts. Right? I'm trying to explain this one. What is A here is A is 64. These two statements I am explaining here is, please concentrate. So A will become 64. So it will be considered in its binary form. So it will be considered in its binary form. So if you can convert this to decimal, it will be 64. That is 160. 2 raised to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 2 raised to 6, it will be 64. That is value of A is 64 in its binary form. As we are using type as byte, it will make use of only 8 bits of for the representing 64. When you left shift this 8, when you left shift these 8 bits to the left by 2 positions, we will lose these 2 bits. We will lose these 2 bits. That is, these are MSB, most significant bits. We will be losing those bits. MSB. That means when you perform this expression, that is, I left shift to the left by 2 positions. But what is the data type of I? Data type of I here is integer. Data type of I here is integer. So as we know, I integer will take 4 bytes and byte will take 8 bits. So the meaning of this here is shift all the bits in A to the left by 2 positions. So 64 bits, 32 bits are there, and earlier this was the value here, 1 zeros, and now we have shifted to the left. So when you shift the bits of 64 to the left by 2 positions, it will be 256. You can convert this to decimal afterwards and see it. It will become 256. So generally you can come to know here, when you left shift the bits of an operand by 1 to the left by 1 position, it will be multiplied by 2. Again, if you left shift by 1 position, again it will be multiplied by 2. So that is, I have shifted it 2 times. 64 into 2 is 128. 128 into 2 is 256. So after shifting to the left by 2 positions, the new value will become 256. So what is the value of I here? The value of I has become 256. The value of I has become 256. So but In the next statement, what is happening? Next statement is also the same. Next statement is also the same. That is, but after shifting to the left, I am converting again that back to byte. So that means this is called as typecasting in Java. Whatever, irrespective of outcome of this, you get some outcome of this, then convert that to byte. Convert that to byte. I think the same thing I have rewritten here. Whatever we have got 256, I have rewritten the same thing. So this 256, you have to treat it as byte. The meaning of this statement. The meaning of this statement here is whatever outcome is there of this expression, that must be treated as byte. So when you treat something as byte, you have to consider only first 8 bits. That means you have to consider only these 8 bits. What is the outcome of these 8 bits? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 are there. I think 1 0 is missing here. So when you consider these 8 bits, the outcome of this is 0. So what is the entire outcome of this? Entire outcome of this is 0, and that 0 will be assigned to B. So what is the ultimate outcome here? Value of A is 64, value of I is 256, and value of B is 0. Why? Because I am converting that to byte. All these bits will be ignored. Remaining first 8 bits, next 8 bits, next 8 bits, and 8 bits. 8 will be considering only first 8 bits. So what happens here is the remaining bits will be ignored, whatever is present at the left side. So the ultimate result of this here is byte shift. Value of A is 64, I is 256, and B is 0. I'll give the demonstration. Java C byte shift dot Java, native of Java interpreter byte shift. Right? As you can see, we have got the expected result. So original values is 64, I is 256, and B is 0. Any questions you can ask in the chat session? Is there anyone who is having doubts at this point of time? Right? Similarly, the same applies for the right shift. The same applies for the right shift. So left shift will cause operand to be multiplied by 2. Right shift will cause the operand to be divided by 2. Here, some sample example is taken here. One, all these bits you right shift by 2, it will become 8. It will become 8. 35 will become 8. All the bits I have right shifted. But at the left side, once you shift all these bits to the right by 2 positions, we will be losing these 2 ones. We will be losing these ones because I am shifting to the right. So these 2 will be lost, and this 1 triple 0 will become here. These 1 triple 0, this is what 1 triple 0. Then these 2 zeros are these 2 zeros, and 2 zeros will be added at the end after right shifting. So similarly for unsigned right shift operand, so this operator will be used to retain the value of the sign of an operand. So this is another example what it is taken, -1. When we shift everything to the left, it will become 255 for retaining the sign values. So individual bit operation is there. This you can understand it. So bitwise operator, as we have the compound assignment A. Similarly, the compound assignment can also be used with the bitwise. That is bitwise equals. I think I no need to give again demonstration. This is same as that of whatever we did for arithmetic operators. Bitwise arithmetic. You have already seen A equal to A plus 4. That was stated as A plus equal to 4. Same is true for the bitwise also. A equal to A raised to 4. This will be treated as A raised to equal to 4. Next we have relational operators, which is again same as it is in C. Different relational operators what we have is equal to, that is check the equality among two operators or two operands, whether one operand is equal to other, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. The outcome will be true. The outcome of these relational operators is either true or false. they will be having here the outcome of these operations is boolean value. Either they'll be giving true value or false value. Similarly, we have boolean logical values. Boolean logical operators, they will be operated on true and false. Only they will operate on true and false values, only the boolean values. That is false and false. When you consider or, false or false will be false, true or false will be true. That is, the boolean will be true only when both are true. So if you can see here, true, both are false here for the and. For the and, both are false. Why? Because false and false will become false. True and false will become false. And the same is demonstrated with this boolean logic. So false and false. I'll give the example. Boolean logic. Java. Okay. So this is simply checking the boolean values of different operands. Okay. I'm checking some values of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and what boolean values they have got at the end. So A is true. We are starting with A as true and B as false. So try writing output of this in 1 minute, because we know already that table is available here. By looking at this table, can you write the output? Please try writing the output. A is true, B is false. C, A or B, true or false is false. So C will get a value of false. And this is where we are changing the truth values of A, B, and C. Can you write output of this program? We are just making some boolean operations here. I'm just trying to print the values of A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Try writing output. This table is available. Only truth and false. And what will be and? Exclusive or, exclusive boolean. Only one must be true here. Here some negation is here. Negation of A and then and with B. So you will get some outcome here. That will be odd with outcome of this, and you will get something for F and negation of A. So it will be again an interview like question. Any answers in the chat session?
Ah,
Just solve that question and try to get the answer. No answer set. Reply in the chat session. Either you can send individually or to the whole group. Before I show you the output, this is a part of C itself. Only the syntax is different. This entire thing is C itself, C programming. Yes. Any answers? Someone have written this answer. Please write the answers, possibly very simple one. You can go for next after that. I just took attendance today, attendance. So I'll continue with the demonstration. Some of you have replied different answers equal to. You just cross verify with that. Whatever answer is right answer for that. Java C Boolean logic dot Java. Fine. Java. Right. And something else. Right. B is true, B is false. How many of you have got this? I don't know. True, false, true, false, true, true, false. True, false, true, false, true, true, false. Soumya Nakod has got right answer. And this Soumya also has got right answer. Right, so some tricky questions will be there which will make you to learn the expression, like how the logical expressions will be, Boolean logic. Right, coming to short circuit logical operators, I'll go to the next part. Shall we continue or shall I stop? Because I wanted to explain this part also today. Well, you see, the next concept here is short circuit logical operators. Short circuit logical operators. So what they will tell here is, if in a combined expression, the result is directly identified with the help of part of the expression, no need to solve the next part. So that is what is short circuit logical operators. So for example, in this expression is having two parts. This expression is having two parts. This is first part of the expression and this is second part of the expression. If the resultant value of this entire if should be true, then both must be true, because true and true, then entire thing is true. When this is false, entire result is false. When this is false, entire result is false. If this is false, entire result is false. If both are false, then also entire result is false. That means both must be true. Then only the entire result is true. In such case, what we can do here is, after evaluating the first part, if the first part itself is false, then no need to evaluate the second part. So that is what is shorthand operator, that is logical short circuit operators. So the meaning here is, when the result of the entire expression can be known after evaluation of the first part, then no need to go for the second part. Don't waste time in evaluating second part of the expression, second part of the condition. Here in the if we have two conditions. This is first condition and this is second condition. Because this real-time example what it shows here is if denominator is not 0 then only we can perform this, because division by 0 is not allowed. So if you don't want to go for this expression, check that here itself. If you have given denominator as 0, then we will be not evaluating this. If denominator is not equal to 0, if this is true, then only go for doing this part. If this is false, don't do this part. That means we will not be evaluating the second part if the result is already known with the first part. So that is what is short circuit logical operator. So you can just revise this theoretical part, will be clear. So this is simple assignment operator. How assignment operator works? The RHS will be assigned to the LHS. Simple example, 100 is being assigned to the variables x, y and z. So ternary operator, this was I think hope you have studied in C. So it is also called as three-way operator. It is having basic syntax like this. What is the basic syntax? There will be three expressions. Expression 1 will be evaluated first. If this is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated. If expression 1 is false, then expression 3 will be evaluated. That is how the ternary operator works. That is, I'll repeat it once again. First, in the ternary expression, expression 1 will be evaluated first. If this is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated. If this is false, then expression 3 will be evaluated. So true, evaluate this. False, evaluate this. So then the result of this entire thing will be result of the expression. Result of the expression. So this is one sample example. I'll take the program for this ternary program. I have a good program, whatever it is from the textbook. Ternary.java. So how this ternary operator works here is, so if you want to get the absolute value of I, so for I have assigned a value called 10. First, this is what is expression 1. As per this, I go for this theoretical part. One second. Right? Ternary I have opened. Right? So what is the syntax here? Expression 1, expression 2 and expression 3. First expression 1 will be evaluated. If it is true, then evaluate this. If it is false, then evaluate this. So consider this expression. Compare with this. So this is RHS. This will be evaluated and the result will be assigned to K. So in this first evaluate expression 1. So what is the outcome of expression 1? I is less than 0. Whether it is true or false. So value of I is 10. 10 is less than 0 is false. That means outcome of this expression is false. When this is false, what we do? When expression 1 is false, what we do? We evaluate expression 3. That means what is I? I is 10. So entire outcome of this part is 10. So that 10 will be assigned to K. So what will be the value of K here? K has got a value of 10. K has got a value of 10. So what will be the output? Absolute value of I is 10. So one more example I will take here. We have assigned value minus 10 to I. So the ternary expression, how it works? I is less than 0. First check it. Whether the value of I is less than 0, whether true or false. So I is minus 10. Minus 10 is less than 0. That means outcome of this expression is true. When this is true, what happens? When expression 1 is true, expression 2 will be evaluated. This will be ignored. So I is less than 0. Then what you do? The outcome is minus of I. Whatever value of I is there, that you negate it. Minus of minus 10 will be plus 10. So the entire outcome here is plus 10. So plus 10 will be assigned to K. So again, absolute value of I will be displayed as 10. That means what will be the output? 10 will be displayed 2 times. So basically, this was the explanation for the ternary operator. Java C ternary.java. I'll show the output. Java ternary. Right? What it says, absolute value of 10 is 10. Absolute value of minus 10 is also 10. So basically how this expression works, if it is true, do this. If it is false, then go for this part. Right? These are the precedences of the operators. This is predefined table. What you should remember. If highest priority will be given for these operators, then lowest priority is for this operator. Because that's why we have the rule, right? Bracket of division first, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So based on this is the priority table for all the operators what we have in programming. So this table you should remember as it is. All these are highest priority. The priority will decrease from this to all these remaining operators. Then using expressions, we can change the valuation order by using parentheses. This already you know the priority. Basically, if you consider this expression, A right shift B plus 3. So in this expression, what is happening? Right shift operator is having highest priority than plus here in this table. Right shift operator is having highest priority than plus. So what happens here is if you want to change this order, if you want to perform B plus 3, then this operator, then we can make it of the brackets. That means we can change the priority. Default values of the priorities we can change by using brackets. So brackets will help us. If you want, you can do like this expression, or you can also change it to this form. That is, first I want to perform this part. What is that? A right shift B. I want to perform A right shift B first, then add 3 to that. So in whatever way we want, we can change the priority. That is how, by using the brackets. So typecasting in OOC. Shall we stop the session? Incompatible types, automatic type conversions, change. So then this comes the next week. Verbalized logical expression, typecasting, type conversion. No, it's already more than 1 hour. I'll stop this because tomorrow I'll continue with the class. Any question, any doubts, anything you have, please respond it in the chat section here. No?
Challenge accepted. Practice also.
I'll stop the meeting.